Hello and welcome. I am so excited that you have made the decision to be here today to absorb this information. Over the next half hour, we're going to cover a lot of really in-depth information. So whether you're just getting started and maybe you're just starting to study holistic health and you want to become a practitioner, or you've been doing this for 2 or 3 years and you're really starting to get into it, get in the groove, but you want to see how to expand, or even those of you who have been doing this for 3 decades or more and you just want to see what's on the horizon, what the new ideas are to keep yourself going strong. The next 30 minutes are going to be very important. So go ahead, cut the Facebook chat off, put your phone on silent, whatever it takes, and just pay attention for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to grab a couple of pieces of paper and take some notes on these ideas. They're going to be very important. So I'm going to dive right in for you. Today we're discussing the 5 shifts you must make to create a 6-figure healing business. Now this 6 figures, yes, that is possible with this information, but maybe you're not interested in that much money. Maybe you're more interested in creating a prosperous community center, or maybe you're interested in just getting a practice started, or maybe you're already at 6 figures and you want to take it to 7 figures. Well, the information on this presentation is going to be some of the best information. This is going to be the starting point to really start flourishing and growing from where you're at now. So who is this for? This is for anyone who is ready to have success in a holistic healing service business. I don't care if you're a wellness coach, Reiki practitioner, I've worked with massage therapists, yoga instructors, herbalists, whoever you may be, or even if you're just an aspiring practitioner. If you want to use alternative medicine in your work, this is for you. In the next 45 minutes, we're going to discuss how you can get a steady stream of the customers that you want to work with without struggling to do that. You're also going to see how to show prospective clients you're exactly what they need. And you're going to do it in such a way that it is specific to them every time. You're going to position so that clients will embrace your worth and not balk when you tell them your prices. You're going to learn how you stay motivated and refreshed to give your clients your best service, and you're going to discover how you can become an effective, high-quality, in-demand practitioner without spending years struggling or even ruining your own health in the process, because this can be a long and arduous road if you don't have the right kind of mentorship. My promise to you and the gift that I want to deliver today in the next half hour is a step-by-step strategy to creating a thriving business in just 8 weeks. Now, if you are getting started, then there's a little bit of learning you may have to do, but then you can push through to a thriving business in just 8 weeks. Yes, less than 2 months, okay? So is this you? Have you been dealing with thoughts such as maybe you're pursuing holistic health, but your confidence in your practice is not nearly as high as you would like? Do you find yourself getting distracted because you keep taking on too many different ideas at the same time? Do you feel like you need a transformation for yourself before you can really help other people? Are you overwhelmed with shotgun marketing advice? There's all kinds of different things that you've tried to do. Maybe you have a Facebook and an Instagram and a Pinterest and all these different little things, and you're trying to create a brand on all of these different sites, and you've got your website and you've got email and you're making calls and it's just not working. Do you see others making it in your business? You don't have a clue how. You see people who are actively full-time practitioners and you've thrown your hands up because you don't understand how they do it. And maybe you're making lots next 1 month and the next month you're back to nothing. And maybe you feel like you don't have the right credentials to keep moving, or maybe you don't feel like, your studies have showed you how to go about having a thriving, consistent business. Or maybe you've seen how to have a thriving, consistent business, but what you have seen people do makes you think that you have to constantly push and slave away every hour of every day. I am here to tell you that this idea of making a living serving people using your talent is not a distant dream. So if you feel like this, it's okay. All that's happened, you're not climbing Mount Everest. The only problem you have is you have not made these 5 shifts, okay? So we're talking about these 5 shifts today, these 5 paradigm shifts, if you will. I mean, some of this isn't just a point of view shift. It's an active shift, but the paradigms that come behind these 5 shifts are going to be some of the most important things that you work with over the next few weeks to start seeing a difference. Once you have made these shifts, you're going to feel confident, not only as a practitioner, but as a business owner. You're going to get the freedom from the everyday grind and be able to live the life that you deserve. You could travel if you want. You'll have whatever money that you need. Once you make these shifts, you're going to be able to continue on towards more education if you feel like you need it. You know, there's all kinds of different things, continuing education and maybe helping in your community and creating a safe place for people who don't already have the capacity to work with you. There's all kinds of things you can do. You're going to see how appropriate pricing and packaging actually helps your clients. So instead of being timid about the price that you are setting forth for people, you own it, and you begin to see how owning it helps your clients meet you there. We're going to talk about that in a minute. You're going to gain consistent clientele that get results, and they're going to be the type of people that you want to work with, to the point where you look forward to working with those people. You're also going to make 5-figure income months and open up countless opportunities if you make these shifts in the right way. Okay, 5 figures puts you well over $100,000 a year. You could, like I mentioned earlier, when you're making the life you want, you can travel. I know people that sponsor community gardens in their town, and they hold like herbal workshops because they're just making enough money to where they can do that kind of thing. You know, other people may have a big community center that they open up that has different wellness practitioners in it. That's a thing. One of my current students is working towards creating a nonprofit in his area to help people who need, you know, maybe a sliding incomes, you know, based, you know, fee and everything. Those kinds of opportunities to begin to open up to you when you are making these shifts and you're bringing in enough money to help other people. You're going to get the results you want from your practice, and you're going to get the results that you want for your clients in your practice while feeling supported by a strong community and enjoying yourself, enjoying what you're doing. It no longer feels like work. Your yearning for a career in holistic health is no longer going to feel like a death sentence. Right? The one thing that you need to know, and that's what we're going to talk about now, is the 5 simple shifts to create an effective healing business that keeps clients coming back and allows you the freedom that you want. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to make these shifts today. So, like I said earlier, go ahead, get your, you know, pencil and paper ready, cut your Facebook off. Hello. Ready? Let's go. Dive in. All right, real quick, who am I? I am Laura Beth Guthrie. I'm the founder of the Keto School for Complementary Healers. I'm a holistic wellness consultant and an apothecary business manager. I have been doing holistic wellness consulting for several years now. I actually started working with energy when I was 12 years old. I was in a martial art that has Qigong classes, and I started doing those classes and just kind of got further and further into the energy work side of things. And so I found myself becoming a Reiki master, learning about aura cleansing and the chakras and things like that. And it's built up into this keto school. I'm incorporating my knowledge about herbalism and aromatherapy and crystals along with energy healing work. And it's a very powerful plethora of modalities. We'll talk about that a bit more in a little bit. So I have 20 years of experience in energy healing and holistic health that I'm bringing to the table, and I'm here today to help you understand how to push your practice to the next level for your clients' benefit, and so that you can help your community and your family and yourself. Let's get started. Are you ready? Discovering the 5 key shifts. Number 1. Mindset is king. Your mindset will make or break your business. Say that again. Your mindset will make or break your business. So if you can't get your mindset together, nothing will work. Tony Robbins talks about how your mind and what you think is reflected directly in your business. You cannot ignore what's happening in your mindset, and you cannot fib to yourself about what's going on, okay? Now, why do I say mindset is king? Well, if you play the game of chess, you probably already know where I'm going. In chess, the entire point of the game is to protect the king. And if your king is captured and you lose it, then you lose the game. If your mindset is captured by bad things and you lose it, you lose the game of having your practice. If you don't get this right, your business is going to fail. You may be the most talented practitioner on the planet, but if you can't keep your mindset in the right place, it will not matter. But if you nail this, you're always going to have more opportunities to succeed. Even just trying to stay in a more positive state of mind has been proven by some studies to show you better opportunities. So if you have a more positive mindset, you will see more opportunities in the long run. All right, so what are some things that you think about when you're talking about your mindset? You want to know your why. You need to have an external why past just wanting to make money. Do you want to change the face of medicine? Are you interested in retiring your husband or your wife from their current career? Are you interested in paying for your college? Or maybe you want to pay directly for your kids to go to college, or maybe you just want to be able to leave a mark on your community for their health. Whatever your why is, know that why, focus on that why. It will keep you moving forward. Okay, you also have to have a mindset of gratefulness. A lot of the times the positive mindset, having positive affirmations, is a good thing, but once you start adding this idea of thankfulness underneath that, you will find that you have a much more powerful attraction happening there. Imagine having your dream business. Staying in that mindset of what things will be like once you are there will help you make decisions to stay on the path to that dream practice, okay? Maybe you're just getting started and you want to be a very powerful practitioner. Well, that's what you start working towards. And when you start imagining that on a regular basis, you make decisions to move yourself in that direction. Maybe you've been doing this for 20 years and you really want to take your full business. Maybe you have a full practice and you just can't seem to make enough money to stay afloat. Well, start imagining what it feels like once you are making enough money to stay afloat. You'll start making these little decisions to get yourself there. And also, like I mentioned before, keep the positive mindset. The gratefulness and the positive mindset are two of the biggest things that you can do to help yourself keep moving forward. Okay? Mindset is king is number one. Number two, embrace your value. This is so important that almost everyone I talk to is undercharging. Matter of fact, everyone I've ever talked to is undercharging, and they don't believe it. They believe that they're pushing the limit as it is. And the thing about it is, if you really want to start helping people who already can't afford you, you have to embrace your value and let the people who can afford you pay your real value. Does that make sense? You're charging too little. You are charging too little for your services and you are hurting your clients. You're not able to help other people. You're spending too much time trying to work with the clients that you currently have, and you're not able to keep moving forward. Let's talk about this from a thought experiment. Say you charge $20 for half an hour, and that ends up being, you need $300 a day to keep the lights on, the overhead, and, everything combined, you need $300 a day. That's 15 clients a day. Some quick math will tell you that that's 7.5 hours of working with clients. Now, don't get me wrong. I like working with clients. 7.5 hours of clients can be enjoyable. But it's not necessarily lucrative for you to keep moving forward. Because how are you going to do any kind of continuing education if you spend 7.5 hours with clients? How are you going to be relaxed and able to work with the next client if the last client was having some severe triggers that you had to help them through? How are you going to have time to ground, recenter yourself, and prepare for the next client to come in? You're not a doctor's office. You're not a doctor. You're not supposed to be shuffling people in and out in 15 minutes. Not that doctors should anyway, but that is a real issue in the States, right? We don't want to be that same way. We want to be able to work with people and spend time with people. What if somebody needs an hour-long conversation? What if the 30 minutes of our practice is not enough for them? You don't have time if you've got to see 15 clients that day. And the last thing I want to mention is what happens if you only see 12 clients one day? You think you're going to be able to catch up the next by seeing 18? Yeah. Now, what if you're doing $50 for half an hour, at $300 a day, 6 clients a day? Now, I'm not suggesting this so that we can all get lazy, okay? But the reality of running a strong practice is that you have to continue with education. You're always going to want continuing education. You're always going to need extra time with certain clients. You're always going to need time in between clients to prepare for those clients. And you're going to, if you're doing it right, you're probably going to need time ahead of time to prepare for the client by looking through their intake and working through all that information. So all of a sudden, 6 clients a day is 3 hours of FaceTime with clients. Now you have time for everything else. You have time for marketing. You have time for working through things. You have time. And on top of that, if you come into the keto program, I can show you how you don't have to have such a high overhead cost on yourself. But that's a conversation for another time. And then you don't have to have as much going into overhead costs and things like that. But let's continue talking about embracing your value. Learn to communicate your value. Learn to talk about what you bring to the table and how that works for you. Not just a general, oh, I'm a massage therapist. Like, actually talk about what that does for people. Create packages. Learn how to explain to people that it's necessary for them to come see you 3 times. A lot of massage therapists, I'm going to use this since I already started down that road. A lot of massage therapists are just, $45 for a 60-minute massage on Groupon, right? Now, they're getting better about this, but this is still not the norm. The norm should be 3 massages for $180, right? All of a sudden, when you create that package, what you're telling your client is that they must come to see you on a regular basis and create a habit for things to get better. Because what we are doing is we are helping people to change habits. We're helping people to change, we're helping them support their bodies as their bodies are healing themselves. And if they come once and that's it, and they continue to drink soda and they continue to stress and do all kinds of crazy stuff, they don't change anything, they just come once and expect a magic pill, that will not work. So creating packages is one of the best things you can do to help people understand your value. When you embrace your value, it will be scary at first. I had a client that she was charging $75 for an hour, and she was like, this is perfect, this is fine. And I understood what she was saying. She was worried that people weren't going to embrace the idea. It was $75 to $80 for the visit. And I told her, I said, but you have to see what you're doing. You spend an hour ahead of time preparing for these clients. You spend 30 minutes afterwards preparing their formulas, their herbal formulas for them. You're spending money on the herbal formulas. $80 is not cutting it for the amount of time you're spending with them. And so she finally agreed to up her price to $120, which is a 50% increase. And that's a scary proposition, a 50% increase. But you know what happened when she went to $120? She did not lose a single client. And she still has more clients coming in by the day. Now, of course, I'm going to encourage you to look into creating a high ticket offer, which is going to be something that creates a major transformation for people. But at this point, this person just wanted to push their business a little bit further. And so it was imperative that she raised her prices a bit. And guess what? It worked. No one left. Okay? Confidence is key in this. If you're unsure about yourself, if you're unsure about the results that you can give to people, you're never going to seem confident enough to be able to embrace your value. And people are not going to feel confident because you're not confident. So becoming confident, having enough practice to feel confident in what you're doing is very important towards embracing your value. So, Number 3 is to build your toolbox. This will help you to embrace your value. If you don't have several modalities to turn to, you're going to lose customers. So if you are just a Reiki master, and this is a thing here, for those of you who are curious, I am in Alabama, and down here, there are people who are nervous about Reiki because they believe there's a spiritual connotation that does not fit with their beliefs. So if you are only a Reiki master, you're going to lose customers. People are not going to come to you. If you're only a massage therapist, there may be people that aren't actually interested in massage therapy. So having multiple modalities to work with somebody will help you to gain customers. Customers have different preferences, and they deserve to have these different options. It's very important to be able to work with people and meet them where they are and help them to travel to where they need to be. You want to help expand their comfort zone, not try to force them over somewhere where they do not belong. If you do this right, you will find that clients really resonate with your practice. It's going to be something that just enthralls them, that you have the capacity to listen to them, hear what they want, and offer it to them, and not just go, oh, I don't do that. Now, that being said, if there is something that you don't do, I don't encourage you to try to pretend. You do want to always work and operate with the utmost integrity. But if you find a lot of people asking for certain things, or if there's something you're particularly interested in, then you need to find yourself a good program that helps you to learn those things and get into that, okay? The old way of doing things was to focus on one path. There was this study that came out that said to be really good at something, you had to have 10,000 hours of practice. And so that stuck, and people took it out of context and said that you have to have 10,000 hours of something to really be good at it. When in reality, the study was saying if you want to be in the top 1% of the world, you must have 10,000 hours of practice under your belt. The reality of the scenario, and there's a really cool TED Talks on this, if you work with somebody who understands what you need, and they can help you, and they understand the modalities that you're wanting to learn, they can help you in 20 hours to learn something to a proficient level to where you can work with other people and you can continue to study on your own to become a master if you want. And that's the new way. 20 hours of skill practice can make you quite proficient in whatever you may want to do. Number 4 is to gain clarity. All right? So when you spend too much time fluttering between projects, clients can sense it. You're not focused on what they need. If you can't focus on one group of people and helping one group of people, then you're going to be all over the map trying to offer too many things to too many different people, and nobody's going to be interested. Especially when you go online and start working with people online, you're just going to be shouting into the abyss. You have to have clarity, okay? Not having clarity muddles communication. Well, what do? Well, I'm a massage therapist. I just help people with that. Well, yes, okay, we all understand that massages are great and amazing and they feel wonderful, right? But not everybody understands that massages can help, heal the body, that massages can help with pain, massages can help with flexibility. So instead, if you're talking to somebody and you find out that they're having flexibility issues, you can mention, well, I'm a massage therapist and I help people with flexibility. Clarity has to be on your results as well as your modalities. So you actually don't want to focus as much when you first start talking to somebody on your modalities as much as you do your results. The reason for this is, and I'm going to be frank for a minute, I hope you're still paying attention. People don't care what you do. They do not care in the least bit that you are an aromatherapist. They care about the result that you can provide to them as an aromatherapist. All right? So you see the difference here. Now, yes, they may enjoy a few essential oils, and that may be cool from that angle, but they don't really care that you're an aromatherapist until they understand what you can do for them as an aromatherapist. So what you really want to focus on are explaining results up front. And then you go back and you talk about what you actually do if somebody starts asking enough questions, okay? So don't get stuck in the dark tunnel. Getting clarity on what clients need is paramount. Okay, so on top of you being clear, you have to, the very first thing that you have to do before you do anything else is to get clear on what your prospective client needs. Ask questions. This is why I advocate an intake form. No matter what you're doing, I advocate the idea of a patient intake form so that you understand what somebody needs, okay? If you're just talking to somebody who's prospective, they haven't even come in yet, ask them what's going on. Ask them not only what's going on, but what their goals are about it. So you start asking questions about like what's happening, how they want to, because somebody who has pain, there's several different things that they may want from that pain. Or let's take it from my perspective. You're here because you want to work on your practice. Well, working on your practice and the goals you have for your practice are very different for each person. Even people who have very similar ideas are going to have slightly different goals. So if you're just getting started, you may be wanting to learn enough to where you can get out and actually work with people. And if you've been doing this for 5 years, you may just be wanting to get where you can go on the road and do it and travel and do seminars and things like that. Somebody else may be wanting to create a center for holistic health. There's all kinds of different things that creating a better business will do. There are people who want to make 6 figures, and that's perfectly cool. If you want to make good money with it, then you hit it from a very different angle when you first start talking to somebody, but essentially working with somebody on a personalized level like that will help you to understand what you have to do to help them get there. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. All right, so focus on being clear in your communication. So when you start talking about the end results that you can get people, you obviously want to ask a bunch of questions first. You don't want to just start throwing ideas at people. You want to check, see where they are, where they want to go, and then be clear on the fact that you can get them there. Focus on that. Get clear in your communication. Tell them about where you can go. Tell them about what you can do. And use similar phrasing to what they are already telling you, right? So somebody uses the phrase, I can't even think of a good example right now. But there's just little turns of phrases that people will use. And if you hear them use it, one person one time told me that they like to be multimodal. And so I told, when I talked to them about the fact that the keto program has multiple modalities, I didn't say the keto program has multiple modalities. I said the keto program helps you to continue to be multimodal. It helps you to build on your multimodalities, that kind of thing, because it helps them hear it back in their words. You're not lying about things. I'm not suggesting that you make stuff up, but if you hear a phrase that describes some of what you do, then you should repeat it back to that person, because then you're being clear. You're telling them this is what we have. This is the offer we have, okay? And you also want to have some branding. This is part of clarity. And I don't necessarily think that you have to do 100% of your branding. You don't want to get into sophisticated procrastination here. But if you can get your branding where it's clear as to who you are and what you are doing, and you stay in that consistent voice, people will begin to resonate because of that, okay? So moving on, the last thing I want to mention is you want to invest in a mentor. Invest in a teacher that really can help you move forward with what you're doing. When you have a teacher who also functions as a mentor, it brings in the largest, fastest return on investment possible, okay? Do this on your own. You're going to take years of making mistakes. You may not even get there. And you're just going to muddle around, and it's miserable. I know. I've been there. Before I started investing in my business, it was really embarrassing. Now, mentoring brings on the largest, fastest return on investment possible, because in my head, you can do whatever you want to ask as many questions as you want of your mentor, and you will get better and better results the more you work with them, okay? And that's why you kind of control how much of a return on investment you get. If you get a mentor, you're not spending years learning from your own mistakes. You're not spending years hoping that you will get there. You're not spending years afraid that maybe you won't get there. This takes away that kind of death sentence that I mentioned earlier. You're not worried about whether or not something's going to work. At this point, you get a good teacher who's going to work with you until you get there. You know you will get there. It's just when will you get there. It's no longer if, it's a matter of when. Mentoring brings in new ideas and accountability. If you have a good teacher, then you're going to see things that are new and interesting. If I am not too bold to suggest, you have probably already got a lot of new ideas just from listening to this presentation, right? So you can see how having someone who is already a bit knowledgeable in the subject can help you to push further and have better ideas coming in the future. You want to find a knowledgeable coach and teacher that you like. You want somebody who you kind of feel like you could connect with and that really hears you out and hears what you want and listens to where you are and where you're trying to go. They also should introduce you to a powerful group of like-minded people. This is very important. You need to find a program that is interactive with a group of other practitioners. In the keto program, we have a private Facebook group and we do group trainings, and it's like a family in there now. Everybody is very, very supportive of each other, and they're very talented people. You want to find a program like that, okay? So, there you have it. Today I promised you that you would see how to get a steady stream of the customers you want to work with, that you could show prospective clients that you're exactly what they need. I talked about how you can position yourself so that clients will embrace your worth. You've learned how to stay motivated and refreshed to give your clients your best service. And you've discovered how to become an effective, high-quality, in-demand practitioner without spending years struggling or even ruining your own health in the process. It's easy. All you need to win is to remember these 5 things. Mindset is king. Protect your mindset. You will stay in the game. Embrace your value. If you're not charging enough, you're hurting your clients. Build your toolbox. Make sure that you have proficient skills in several modalities. Gain clarity. Understand how to communicate. Understand what each individual client needs and invest in mentoring. Get into a program that will take you from where you are to where you want to be with a coach that's going to work with you one-on-one, who's going to teach you what you need to know, and who's going to introduce you to a group of very powerful, like-minded people. These 5 shifts alone are enough to propel you into an effective healing business, giving you the clients you dream of and the success that you deserve. Now, you have a choice. This is your choice. You can completely forget all of this information and stay right where you are. Is that what you want? Do you just want to stay where you are? Which, you know, they tell you if you're not making progress, you're really kind of sliding backwards, right? Or are you ready to have the life and the business that you want? Are you ready to embrace those goals and to get with a teacher who can really help you move forward? Are you ready to get with somebody who understands that you need to have personalized plans, that you need help on a personal level, not just some, online few videos and then you maybe get a graded assignment every once in a while, but actually works with you one-on-one and tries to make sure you have what you need? How can I help? I want to offer you a free breakthrough session. I want you to see your path. I want to help you try to get into that positive mindset and really get where you want to go. We're going to get clarity. We're going to talk about what your next steps are going to be. All right, whether it be in my program or whether it be in something completely different, or maybe you just want to, figure out what your next steps are as far as just like where you are at currently without coming into a program. We can talk about what that needs to be in this breakthrough session. We can talk about what you need for your personal goals to make it happen. And I will be candid and I will be honest, all right? So who is this for? Because I am serious about these. I want these to be very valuable to you as a practitioner. If you're committed to creating the highest quality business where you're able to help others and feel rejuvenated in the process, this is for you. If you are ready to get out there and make a significant difference that has people talking, this is for you. You must be driven to learn and be hungry to grow. If you're not interested in making radical changes, this is not going to work for you. Okay? Don't get on the phone with me if you're not ready to grow and to learn. If you're going to justify the choices that you're making instead of trying to push forward into newer and bigger and better things, then this is not going to work for you. All right? This is not for you if you're not prepared to deliver value to your clients. Like I talked about earlier, we're talking about, you can go and, raise your prices and you don't see as many people. That doesn't mean that you're not going to deliver value. You're still going to be striving to deliver even more value and more quality. Okay? And this is not for you if you're comfortable staying where you are or you're not willing to invest in yourself. You have to be ready to make that leap out of your comfort zone. If you really want to see amazing results, you have to be different from the crowd. Why am I doing this? I want you to have the confidence that it's going to take for a successful practice. I want to talk to you. I want to hear where you're at. I want to hear what's going on. And I want to tell you what I see as the best choice for you moving forward. My goal is to help as many people as I can by supporting practitioners on their journey. Because to me, I'm making a significant difference. If you're somebody that you don't really have a lot in your area and there's not really a whole lot going on, well, I can help you see what your future options are. Maybe you want to travel and you feel like being a practitioner sticks you in one spot. No, it doesn't. We can talk about that, okay? If you're committed to growth and you're ready to take on a life-changing transformation, I may invite you into the Keto Master Program. We have 5 slots that open every month, and I may invite you to join us, okay? If I invite you into the master program, you must be committed to taking action and applying the information you receive. It's a very, very quick program. It's very in-depth. You're going to master these 5 shifts and you discover all the tools necessary for your practice's success. We go through energy work, we go through aromatherapy and herbalism and crystal work and all these different modalities, and then we hit it from the body systems and how that affects how that works with energy and how energy affects the different body systems. And then we talk about your practice and how to really make your practice what you want it to be. Not just what everybody else thinks it should be, but what your goals are, okay? So, for your free breakthrough session, go to meetme.so/wellness. Click over on the I want in button, and you'll be able to schedule it. There are limited spots. I only have so many hours in a day that I can speak with people. So go ahead and do that, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thanks. Have a good one.